You mentioned the fact that there's a lot of uneducated bettors coming into the Derby where people bet in their favorite color, their grandma's birthday, the name that they like. What is the best betting advice you can give?
So there are really three things that, any kind of new bettor to horse racing should know. One, betting on horses is hard, right? Hard. For example, journalism is 3-1 on the morning line. That's equivalent to plus 300 on the morning line for any sports bettors out there. Plus 300, to give you a little bit of context, is what the price was on the Dallas Cowboys going into Philadelphia in week 17 last season to beat the Eagles. Who in their right mind would have bet the Cowboys at plus 300 to beat the Eagles last year in Philadelphia? I think they ended up losing 41-7. Yet, plus 300 is the price that you're getting on journalism to win the Kentucky Derby. That's how hard horse racing is. Two, you got to ask yourself, what kind of bettor are you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are you someone who wants to take $20 and turn it into $40, into $400, into $40,000? Now, $40,000 isn't necessarily the right answer to that question. Everyone's might answer that a little bit differently. It's really how you value your money and how much, money you're willing to lose, right? But that is going to frame how you bet the race. A lot of people ask me, who do you like in the Kentucky Derby? But they don't ask me how I'm betting the Kentucky Derby, right? And that's the final thing, is there's a difference between the horse to bet and the horse to beat. And we'll get into this a little bit later with our picks. But journalism is plus 3-1, is 3-1. And I consider him the most likely to run his race and to finish in the top two. But there's another horse that I like that offers better odds that I'm going to play to win.
Are you going to tell us that now? Or later?
Oh, come on. It's called a tease, Michelle.
I was all into it right now, though. Jeff, what kind of advice do you want to give to our newbies?
Yeah, for newbies, I would focus on straight bets, win, place, and show. They have a higher chance for success compared to exotics like exactas and trifectas. You'll reduce your risk. While learning how odds, race dynamics, and handicapping works. And most importantly, you'll avoid the frustration of frequent losses that come with more complicated wagers. And then last but not least, I would say only bet what you can afford to lose. And that applies to all sports, really.
Yes, that's a good piece of advice there. And I like how Gene mentioned, like, what kind of a bettor are you trying to be and how much you're trying to win? Because sometimes you're not trying to win a bunch of money. You just want to cash the ticket. And cashing the ticket is your thing. Favorites do win a good percentage of the time. So don't be afraid to bet that favorite. You're going to win more often on that than you are on the 100-1 shot. You might not make as much money, but cumulatively, it could teeter out in your favor.